They had many houses to stop at, and many folks still to bother that day. Anne and Andy, not related, were from a congregation a few miles away from the lane, and they were making their rounds on the lane in an attempt to garner more adherents for their particular brand of beliefs. Knocking on door after door, greeting those that answered with a smile and a question, handing them a simple pamphlet full of scant details and leading questions which more often than not ended up in waste bins or fireplaces. They did their best to appear kindly and neighborly as they openly questioned the existing beliefs of all they encountered. Anne and Andy saw nothing wrong in their behavior. They saw nothing negative about casting doubt into the minds of so many, for Anne and Andy knew the underlying truth of the universe, the one key to all understanding. What they believed was correct, and everyone else was wrong. So they pursued their mission with vigor and joy, doing their utmost to spread the knowledge of their unquestionable truth to all whom they encountered, and any inconvenience or uncertainty they might inflict was all in the name of this good cause. A pleasant smile, a simple question, and a "Have a nice day" to every closing door, saw Anne and Andy approaching every house on the lane without any fear in their hearts or doubt in their minds. Not even an empty house would deter them, as they littered a pamphlet upon the welcome mat or slid it into the door frame to await the return of the homeowner. Not even a residence with no signs of habitation or occupation, such as the house with the dead yard, was viewed by the pair with any trepidation. Even if there were no actual inhabitants, their theological litter might still find its way into the hands of the impressionable somehow. Yet as Anne and Andy stood on the porch of the house with the dead yard, and reached forward to tuck the pamphlet between the door and the frame, their smiles wavered. The door had swung open, seemingly of its own volition. Anne and Andy looked inside with consternation, and Andy called out for anyone inside to hear, but no answer was given. The religious propagandists stood there, peering into the darkness, unaware of the multiple pairs of eyes watching them in fascination from several shuttered windows along the lane. They stood there paralyzed in an existential dread they had not known for a long time. With a primordial terror and doubt their faith had so long hidden, Anne and Andy shook and shivered, and yet still they stepped forward into the shadows within, deep beyond the door of the house with the dead yard, which swung shut behind them slowly and steadily until it was closed once more. The eyes behind all the shutters glazed and unfocused, and their owners went back to whatever it was they had been doing before they had decided for some unknown reason to once again stare at the creepy house with the dead yard.